Hello grade 6s. Today we will be doing a lesson on the reasons for European exploration. History lesson 14, grade 6. First, we have to look at two very important definitions. The first definition is the Renaissance. The Renaissance is a period in history associated with rebirth and enlightenment that followed the Middle Ages. The word Renaissance means rebirth in French, and the period was named as such due to the wide changes in various aspects of society and cultures across Europe. These changes were reminiscent of ancient Greek and Roman art, agriculture, literature, and intellect. So this was indeed a revival, or as they would call it, a rebirth. Many new ideas were developed and important discoveries were made. The next definition is tax. Tax is monies the government levies on goods to cover expenses. So, in this lesson, we will be looking at 6 reasons the Europeans started exploring 600 years ago. The first one is curiosity. We've all been curious to know what happens next in a movie, and curious to know maybe what happens in a different country. So the Europeans were also very, very curious. The European Renaissance created interest in exploring the rest of the world. As a result, Europeans discovered foreign countries and interacted with the rest of the world. This newfound knowledge and curiosity led to the age of exploration. Reason number 2, the Europeans were in search of trade and profit. So, to give you a breakdown of what basically happened, the Europeans were in direct trade with the Arabs. The Arabs, however, were in direct trade with countries like Asia and India. However, the Europeans started to realize that they were paying a lot of taxes to the Arabs because they were not dealing directly with countries such as Asia and India. So the Europeans decided they don't want to pay taxes anymore, and they are going to cut out the middleman and deal directly with Asia and India. In doing this, they made a bigger profit. Reason number 3, the Europeans wanted spices. Can you remember a time without a fridge? Probably not, but there was such a time. Salt was used to preserve food. And they did this because there were no refrigerators in those days. Meat was usually preserved in wine barrels between layers of salt. The food, however, was not very tasty as a result of all the salt. Spices like pepper, cloves, and cinnamon could also preserve food and give it a better taste. So the Europeans searched for spices to make their food taste better. The next reason was silver and gold. You see, the use of money during transactions gained popularity instead of exchanging goods. So they moved away from exchanging, let's say, a chicken for potatoes. Europeans wanted silver and gold so they could make coins and pay for their products that way. Reason number 5, the Europeans wanted silk. So here is a little diagram of the process followed to make silk. That would be the picture of a typical silk factory. And that is the end product. You see, the Chinese managed to take silk from silkworm cocoons and process them into fabric. The silk fabric was in high demand, meaning everybody wanted it. Wealthy people in Europe wore silk. Reason number 6. The Europeans wanted to spread Christianity around the world. The European rulers were very religious, and there was only one recognized religion in Europe at the time, namely Christianity. Christianity was mainly controlled by the very powerful Roman Catholic Church, and the Church wanted to spread their religion worldwide. So let's take a quick recap. 6 reasons the Europeans wanted to travel. First was curiosity, then profit, then spices, silver and gold, silk, and religion. And this is the reasons why the Europeans started the age of exploration.